Hi, this video is for discussions for my public speaking and argumentation courses. It can also be used for my political science courses for possible discussions as well. This video is dedicated to the idea of choosing a topic and also what you should consider. Now, for public speaking or choosing political beliefs for political science. Now, a couple things. When I'm shooting videos right now in our current situation, I'm always going to be COVID ready or give tips or whatever. So I'm actually shooting this video in the entryway to my place because right behind me is my decontamination area. It's something to have when you're planning yourself. Even when you think it's going to get better be safe than sorry. And I'm wearing stuff to encourage you to do things like wearing my mask right here. It also covers the fact that I've been losing weight. And also, even though it's getting hotter here in LA, you should wear long sleeves if you go out into public spaces. And of course, pants, not shorts. But let's move on to the discussion. You have speeches coming up that you have to choose a topic. And in politics and in messaging and issues and so forth, one of the great mistakes people make is they have to be absolute against something, either for or against something. And this mistake has generated, I think, a lot of the partisanship and arguing that we have in our society. If you're doing an informative speech, sometimes people believe that you have to talk about everything on the topic and you have to be 100% about all the possibilities, when in actuality you can be more focused on stuff. If you're doing a persuasion, you can be for something and have reservations about it. It's not a bad thing. The classic example is for the informative, doing a climate change speech and covering all the possibilities of climate change, when in reality you can focus on just air pollution or rising seawater or something like that. For persuasion, the best example as always is abortion, because pro-choice people can still believe in restrictions or limitations, while pro-life people do believe that there should be exemptions. There are some who believe there should be exemptions for rape, incest, or the woman's health. So it's not 100. So I always use my example. This is not about my opinion. This is my examples that I want to give on how I'm 100%. I'm going to use education, for example. I'm a professor, and as you know that I also work in public schools as well. Some of this might be a little bit controversial, but it's not about the opinion. It's about the percentages. And the first percentage in education, these are things I'm against in certain levels. So in the 100% category, I'm against for-profit education. I'm not here to talk about my opinion. I'm just here to say that I'm against it. I was once offered a job in for-profit education and probably would have a very successful career in it right now, considering the job. But the fact of the matter is, I have my ethical opinions about it, and whenever it comes to for-profit education, I'm 100% against it. That's an absolute. That is an absolute on something. So for our political science students, that's if you are completely on the left or right on an issue. And then there is the next level, which is, I did not erase the other one as well, it's 75%. When you're 75% for or against something. Against in education I am, and this is going to be surprising considering I do dual enrollment courses at charter schools, is charter schools. It's not that I'm completely against it, because I work with charter schools. I work at charter schools. When I do substitute teaching back in my hometown, one of the schools that I worked at the most was a charter school. But I have serious questions about it, serious reforms, and I think there should be a lot of stuff and discussions about it. I'm not absolutely against it, but this would be the high percentage of skepticism and oversight and so forth. So that's 75. So if you are, again, an informative speech, you can focus on a narrow version. It actually makes your speech a lot easier, by the way. In public policy, when you focus on a certain area, a small area, you find it narrows your focus, it's easier to sell. Then there's the next level. I should just keep the percentage side. I shouldn't erase that part. Is of course the 50%. And in education, that's AP classes. In a perfect world in this country, if we had low tuitions, we shouldn't have AP classes. College level courses should be taught colleges. And more colleges are going against that. But because tuition is so high, we need to have those possibilities. And AP education helps students afford, helps save money on classes. I think the best solution would be the core classes must be done in schools. Political science, that's you. American government should still be taken at the college level. But electives, for example, that would help students with costs, high tuition costs. In a perfect world, it would be 100%, but we don't live in a perfect world. And then my lowest level, the 25%, it is 25, is actually what I teach. One of the classes I teach is dual enrollment. I have reservations about it, but it's taught by college professors, it's college credit classes. And the reservations about it is what we see with AP courses. In core classes and stuff, things of that nature. But the fact remains, it's very good to have them because it helps make college a little bit more affordable. And there's a lot of things we can do to have those reservations. So when you look at those levels, the 100% to 25, 75, 50s, 25%. It doesn't mean on an issue, if you're informative, you don't have to cover everything about it. You can focus on it. You don't have to be 100% for it. You can be, you want to be informative on climate change, but you also want to talk about economic interests that might counter it. You can, in persuasion, you can be against, for the death penalty in extreme circumstances and must have complete and utter oversight. There's a lot of variations in beliefs, and with that variation comes compromise. In political science, your discussion, if this is used for your class, international relations, American government, comparative government, where is the absolutes hurting the most? Below in the discussions, go ahead and put where are the discussions, where are the absolutes of politics and policy is making everything worse. And for informative and persuasion, that is public speaking and that is argumentation. In the discussion below, you're going to choose three topics that you can possibly do. No one, it will be in the details. No one can do the same topic. So it's good because I'm going to select, in this situation we can't go back and forth. I'm going to select which ones. The people who put discussion first will get the better chance of getting your topic, your top choice. Informative speeches, you're not taking a position for or against something, you're just informing people about the situation. In persuasion, you're telling someone to believe in something or what to do. Put three topics down, and because we are online, in considering the situation, because you didn't sign up for an online course, if you can identify when you give your speech, if you can do it in Zoom, or if you have issues with online accessibility, just put alternatives. We can talk about and we can discuss in one-on-one and so forth about what we can do to make sure you get your speeches done. We can download videos or something of that nature. So put Zoom, if you can do a Zoom call, which is the easiest way to do it, or alternative, if we can talk about variation. So let's just make sure we do that and have a good discussion, and of course, stay safe.